And we are live. Welcome, everyone. And hello, Paul. Thanks for joining me today in the absence of my co-barista, Callum. How are
Yeah,
you?
hi Marcin. I'm good, thanks. Just a reminder, you didn't do the intro again, the intro video.
Yeah, I just wanted to save some time for us today
Oh, right, yeah.
to go through the bigger list of things. But yeah, welcome everyone. Of course, we are in the almost in the middle of December. A lot of companies, teams, and people are just attending a lot of Christmas activities, parties, team gatherings. Callum has one as well today, so hope the whole band team enjoys it a lot today. I promise that I won't be drinking whiskey during the whole episode myself today. So yeah, promise delivered. But yeah, Christmas hats are answered. Christmas hats will be in the next one. So the next one is the Christmas one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely do it. And then the new year will be some our thoughts about various things Umbraco related. But yeah, welcome everyone. Paul, how are you in general? How's your comeback after the first event for a long time when we see each other?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. I really needed that actually. I really needed that event. It was great to see everyone, and with the different lanyards as well. You know who you can go up
Yeah.
to and like give a hug and what have you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And again, it's good to see Candid Contributions is back, and I'm just loving the Umbraco community and just keep staying up to date with it all. And it feels like there's lots of activity at the minute, and I know it probably died down for Christmas.
Yeah. I think every year it's like December is where I feel the most motivated, to be honest. It's like, I don't know, new year, new me kind of stuff, etc. upcoming, where I pack everything to the end of the year and find a lot of motivation even in the 24 days pause or all the other activities done here. So yeah, I feel the same vibe, and I think we all needed this one, and hope that nothing will stop us now.
Yeah.
And I mean all the COVID things and stuff behind the scenes that
Oh
might
yeah.
affect us, because of course we are still striving through complexities around it. So yeah,
Yeah. I
hopefully
heard
we'll be.
Omicron. Is it Omicron B? Is an anagram of no crimbo.
Yeah, that's we will find more games like that for sure
Yeah.
if we'll be going through many more waves like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, from a Morocco perspective, you also said there's a lot of things happening, even though the people are more chilled by the end of the year. And yeah, let's maybe explore what happened in the Umbraco community together then.
Yeah.
Starting from the product update shared by Runa recently, it was on December 8th, highlighting everything what happened, what is happening, and what will happen soon. And yeah, I think the most interesting thing from me was, for example, the new patch release for Umbraco 9 that has a lot of interesting fixes already inside of it. But there was also information about the new upcoming release of Umbraco 9.2. So yeah, not so far away. We enjoyed the initial 9 release, and now we will have a point 2 version of it that will be ready in 2 weeks after the release candidate. And yeah, for testing, it will be available on the next week, so December 16th. Oh, what are your experiences with V9 so far? You've done a lot of explorations from what I saw already, right?
Yeah. Because I've been doing 100 days of code. A lot of it has been centered around V9, and I found myself updating all of my starter kits as well because I started one on V7. That got brought up to V8, and now I've finished doing it for V9. I think it's pre-release. And then the one that I did for V8, I've had to bring for V9, and then I did a new one for V9. So I've done a lot of V9,
Mhm.
a lot of starter kits, a lot of the same stuff really on those. But as far as like Umbraco 9, we did some testing of it as well, didn't we? Because we did
Yeah,
that talk
yeah.
with Moriyama, and we've actually been testing against .NET 6 performance for Umbraco 9 as well to see if it
Mhm.
improves or not. Against .NET 5. So we've got a blog post coming out about that soon as well. So we'll put our results from our talk and everything, but it's going to be like a director's cut episode, blog post with actual details of what we also found out from our extra tests that we did after getting
Mhm.
feedback from people. But yeah, just really enjoyed the whole development experience. I got a little tablet recently, and I've got
Mhm.
Umbraco running on that.
Oh, nice.
So I've got Umbraco 9 development working on that. Right, granted it's a Windows tablet, but I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
can we
I'd
can
have been able
probably
to do
all
it.
call ourselves right now like an edge case modern developers these days.
Yeah,
It's no longer that far away from us, and I think this has also made a lot of people more motivated in terms of building new stuff, because it's not that much different from what we saw, from what we've learned. But again, it's focused around the CMS itself, but with more joy for developers and more possibilities when it comes to performance, not only, but also extensions of the
yeah.
implementations that we could do there. So
Well,
that's
it's like
exciting.
I want to get stuck in with the modern things, and I also want to try out Image Shop, and now that we're more up to date and staying up to date with the latest .NET, I like the fact that V9 works with .NET 6. It's just great that I can actually be up to date with the latest technologies and try all of this out without feeling that I'm stuck behind with the .NET framework. I've not really done much in core at all, so it's now that V9's out, there's a great reason to catch up.
Yeah, that's true, and it works both ways. So hopefully more people will be interested in Umbraco because they've done .NET Core and now they want to use some CMS, for example.
Yeah.
And following to that, there was a lot of product updates, such as new releases for deploy and some patches for previous ones. But one more thing that catch my eye in this read was about the new thing in the roadmap. And there is information about block list editor with GraphQL support in Umbraco Heartcore. On the event itself, on Umbraco Together, and some keynotes done by the team from Umbraco HQ, we've heard that there is a lot of more resources and people dedicated now back to Heartcore product and some other products that maybe got less attention recently in the Umbraco HQ. And it seems like this one is landing on top of the priorities list now. And it's interesting how it can help maybe for exploring content on Umbraco side and how Umbraco will deal with it. I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, it just got me thinking actually. I've been working on this content API for exporting content from V7 sites and V8 and whatever really, and importing it into your latest site like 8 or 9. And the way we've done it is where you can request the things that you want. We made it in such a generic way that I suppose it's a bit like GraphQL in that you can just tell it the fields that you want to bring back, and it does. So I never really thought of it in that way.
Yeah, I've played with GraphQL for a while, and I think I see it this powerful in terms of more complex data structures where you want to have bundles and things, maybe in the easier, more combined request or set of requests behind the scenes. And it seems it's here going to help for gathering content from the headless type of data modeling. It's interesting that it might be even done on the block list level. So it seems like it's not only about the data types itself, but maybe about the blocks within the data type that might got distributed or maybe more divided into some smaller bits. Interesting concept, and I'm definitely looking forward to learn more about it and see how it may help us. But did you see this content API project that we've also highlighted a couple weeks back? It was a pretty good project. I can't remember the authors now, but it was such a complete content API that someone even this week said on Twitter that this is going to kickstart a lot of headless Umbraco implementations, but of course other than Umbraco Heartcore offering, because it's purely driven by the open source community.
Yeah, I did see that actually, and I think one of the award-winning packages, Ecstatic, didn't the author of that say that he was going to actually use that package to power the JSON side of things as well? Because his Ecstatic actually can return JSON schema, so I think he said he was going to use that or something like that.
If someone didn't see this package, I will definitely bring this up, because I've analyzed some of the code of it and it just looks amazing. So definitely will help a lot of people to do more of it, and it's becoming more and more common. One more thing related to the releases was about forms and its release candidates plus upcoming releases. I think we've all been discussing it, that the Andy and the whole Umbraco team now is definitely keeping the pace of getting us updated with the new forms, features, and improvements. and there was also a couple of release candidates released before. But now there is a lot of upcoming changes, such as localization in the back office for Umbraco forms, and something what I found really, really interesting is ability to add content apps to the forms sections. So right now, each form can have the content app attached to it. I remember, Paul, I don't know if you remember the Umbraco forms on steroid package. Yeah, that's something what is even mentioned here. It was done by
Yeah, I saw Jeffrey tweeted about it, didn't he? He said he's glad that you can almost retire that package now because most of the things have been added in. And I've also seen on the Discord channel that Craig 100 has been testing. Craig Stevens has been testing out the release candidate for forms and whatever, and he's found a few issues. I think working with Linux, it might be related to the theme that he was using, but yeah, he's been testing it out. So it's good to see people are testing out these release candidates before they do get published, because it's those sort of edge cases like working on Linux that not everyone's doing yet. I know it's Umbraco 9 and it can work cross-platform, but most of the time we'll still be doing it on Windows, won't we, anyway?
That's true. And you've proved that it's the fastest one as well.
So yeah, it is the fastest.
We can talk about it. But yeah, this is something where again, I felt like, content apps can be really useful. And imagine, if you are installing a package that seamlessly extends some of the built-in Umbraco functionalities with just a simple, interior, of course, simple content app that delivers some of the functionality that enhance and extends the specific domain of the Umbraco CMS, that would be extremely powerful and useful. And I think we'll see more of it on various locations of Umbraco in the future. And I hope to see more of great use cases of it done by people. Security updates here for file uploads as well, following some of the issues that we've captured back in this year. Some improvements for both versions and a lot of other updates. And yeah, as you've mentioned, an importance of testing the release candidates. Yeah. So if more people will dedicate their time and some of the projects where they heavily rely on forms, for example, and see if this is something what will help them flagging some issues, that will definitely help for the project and us who will be using and testing it for sure later on. This is about the product update. I think one more blog post that was very shared a lot this week was about Hacktoberfest summarize done by Sebastian. Paul, what was your Hacktoberfest this year? How you participated?
So I think I did 3 in the core and one other, I think, to one of Matt Brailsford's packages as well. So I managed to get all 4 in. Nice. And the ones that I did, I learned quite a lot. I did it on the I did 1 or 2 of them in the Discord channel again, like on these lunchtime sessions.
Yes.
I think we call it the Thursday, well, I wanted to call it Thursday Murder Club.
Umbraco Lab.
Yeah, but it's Umbraco Lab. But yeah, after the book, I don't know if you know that book, but anyway, so really, really good sessions. And yeah, like I think I was using like the localization service on the to translate some text and things like that, and just like learning how to do it and to have access to the Umbraco HQ members that can actually give you the answers to help you with those PRs was really good through Hacktoberfest on those Thursdays, and that's why they've carried it on as well, actually. Yeah. But yeah, I really had a good one. Did you do any PRs?
No, I'm ashamed that I didn't do any this year, but it was done on purpose at some point. But yeah, that was the decision done up front and during the month that I won't be rushing just to make them done at the end of the month. But yeah, the plan is to contribute more. But I just wanted to second that I observe this Thursday collapse and output of it every week, and I see more and more people enjoying this so much. And as you've said, being able to connect directly to HQ as a direct line of, let's say, support and help is amazing. And it seems like it's something what will and may help for many more people who want to start and do something awesome. But yeah, coming back to summarize from the HQ perspective, because I don't know if everyone else knows that, but Umbraco very heavily supported the Hacktoberfest initiative for a couple of years in a row. This year, it also opened a lot of issues to be worked on, some first-time contributions ideas, and also some package works as well. And yeah, Paul, you even was mentioned here as a good example of the lunchtime collaborations. But yeah, generally 261 total pull requests done during the Hacktoberfest, 64 unique contributors, and 18 of them are new contributors to Umbraco repos. So it is an amazing result in overall, and 18 new people who didn't contribute back before right now are proudly listed as a contributors to Umbraco project. So that's amazing. And yeah, you've said there's a lot of new contributions for Umbraco v9. There was a lot of documentation updates as well, but packages were also opening their doors for contributors during the Hacktoberfest, and many people decided to also contribute to packages. So yeah, this is the great list collected by Sebastian as usual, with highlights to the new and coming back contributors. Same with the package repositories. Yeah, well done to the whole community. And now there's a time to order the swag. So you combine both, Paul, right? So that's Hacktoberfest challenge done from in the eyes of GitHub and the DigitalOcean, and of course Umbraco, because two in one this time.
Yeah, I do like my t-shirts.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think I said it last week or 2 weeks ago that it would be lovely to have Hacktoberfest every month and follow the same kind of motivation and people exchanging their ideas of where to contribute, what we can do for the more than 1 month only in the year. But yeah, that's good to even have 1 month like that during the year. Other month that is interesting is also December, and something what I also need to catch up more and invest more time to that is 24 days this month. Paul, what is your approach to that? You read them every day? Have some specific blogs dedicated to catch up on the news?
Yes, I do read them. I've not read all of them, but I have been reading them, and I have also joined the 24 days team actually.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
so I'm part of the team now. I can't say too much yet, but yeah, just watch this space.
Nice. That's very nice. And again, we also share a lot of kudos with the team behind the initiative, because it is a great initiative. And I think you will definitely tell us more about it soon as well. But yeah, this month, for those who don't know, every day there is a new publication released by the 24 days in as a part of the Advent calendar counting down to the 24th of December. And yeah, every day it was an amazing article shared so far. We are on the day 10, where Mikkel shared an interesting article that I haven't read yet about the technicalities behind the Umbraco Cloud and how it's powered, how it's upgraded, and how it works in general. It looks interesting. Any other favorites from your side, Paul, so far?
I enjoyed Joe's on the first day, and I enjoyed. Well, no, was it Joe, and was there another Joe as well?
Yeah, Joe Gomba.
Yeah, Joe and Joe. I enjoyed those ones, and I've not had a chance to read all of them yet. But the server variable one was good as well. But yeah, I'll definitely be reading all of them.
Yeah, I think every year it's a great book of information about Umbraco, and not only about Umbraco, because I think one of the ones I've read was from Busra about general imperfection, imposter syndrome, and the approach to general career and life around the development, and I found it really useful and relatable too. And yeah, a lot of teams, for example, one about tips for content apps was also interesting to see, because I haven't done a lot with the content apps yet, and it was good to see how they could be extended. And of course, all the other ones. It's hard to pick one or a couple of them. They're all amazing.
I'll definitely be having a look at that content apps one, because I love content apps. I love the idea of them, and so to get some advanced tips on it might inspire me to do more with them.
Yeah.
Maybe create another package.
Yeah, same one was for me with this Patrick's article about small changes that make that difference differences. Whenever I was doing Umbraco trainings, for example, some small bits that were taken out from the general work in the middle of nothing were just amazing to get something done easily and fast, and that will make a lot of difference for editors and for our projects in general.
Cool.
So yeah, more to come. We are only on the day 10. I know that the team is working hard to make it make us fulfilled with great knowledge up front. So yeah, every day is a secret. Follow Umbraco 24 days on Twitter for sure, and yeah, see what's next, and hopefully there will be a lot of useful stuff as well. Another initiative this month, Umbraco Secret Santa. Paul, did you sign up?
I was so close to filling out the form, and I got distracted, and I never made it in time.
So yeah, for everyone who signed up, the matches were sent last week, and yeah, we still have some time. I managed to sign up myself, and yeah, still there's a lot of time, I would say, till the end of December to ship the gifts. But yeah, I saw a lot of them already being sent. That always amazed me. For example, this coffee coaster with a SpaceX logo delivered to Andy from the Secret Santa from Umbraco community.
That's cool.
Or this big book of oceans that was probably sent as a reply to the information shared by Lewis in his file. Yeah, a lot of more like this coming. I remember some puzzles, some other crazy gifts, Lego builds last year. Lego was dominating last year. So Secret Santa.
I wonder if anyone will get a Lee Kelleher T-shirt. Lee was here.
Oh,
like his contentment. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, that would be.
If you receive one of them.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. Let's just make sure that people will definitely cheer and share whatever they received from the Secret Santa. Even though this year's was collected just on the last minute call, let's make sure that it will be the inspiration for the upcoming years. Release wise, I've collected 2 releases this week, and both of them are redirects related. First of them is yet another alpha release of Umbraco 9 redirects package from Skybird and Anders. It's Alpha 007, almost like James Bond 007. But yeah, it's the new release, new version with some fixes in it. Definitely to check and test in the action. And second one is from Patrick. And this is a simpler redirects package that it has its new release 2.0.1 with some fixes and yeah, updates. So yeah, nothing else I've collected this week, to be honest.
While we're talking about releases,
yes.
So Dean from Whole Thing, he's been helping me out with updating Clean Starter Kit to be Bootstrap 5 now. So yeah, that's been released as an update. So yeah, if you download Clean now on V9, you'll get a Bootstrap 5 version, and it's nearly hundreds all across the board. I think 95, 100, 100, 100 on Lighthouse.
Nice, so, nice. I have one news coming about performance in the later phase of this episode, but yeah, it's great to see that, and yeah, you've also used your starter kit for benchmarking, right?
Yeah, we use that on the benchmarking, and also I've had another contributor from Matt Wise. He's also contributed to the package as well, so it's nice to see people collaborating with me and helping improve the starter kit and what have you.
Yeah, that's amazing, and yeah, the starter kit itself is just amazing. So keep up the great work you are doing there, and it's amazing to see people contributing to it as well.
Yeah,
and
nice.
using it. Awesome. So yeah, that's the release section. If there was anything else released this week, let us know, and we'll definitely highlight that in the episode's notes, and maybe recap it next week. Just to make sure that we won't miss it. Events wise, we've had last week we had a meetup summary. There was a couple, if I remember correctly, there was an Australian meetup catch up. There is upcoming London Christmas quiz next week, if I'm correct, from the community perspective. And there was also community office hours this week. with the packages, not packages, with the community team
Stewards.
steward.
Yeah, I
Yes.
watched that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So so that was about what it would be a community team steward, and there was one announcement done on this one, and previous to that it was Patrick, Ronald, who took charge of the packages team in replacement of Jesper, who left the HQ. So Ronald right now will be leading the packages team from the as a steward from the Umbraco HQ perspective.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of teams, and even today I replied to one of the questions on Twitter about accessibility in open source space. Someone asked, what are the projects that are dedicating resources or doing something around accessibility? And I said, oh, Umbraco has invested a lot of efforts and time to make accessibility better. They even have a team, and then link to the team, umbraco.com/teams. Amazing. It's just good to to relate to things like that, and this is where I think these teams are also useful and visible from the outside, because that's for what helps.
Yeah. Also, I think Umbraco are sponsoring that accessibility event, aren't they? Coming up as well.
Yes.
Tech accessibility.
Yes, A11 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, and I hope that more of organizations like that and people who are keen on this area and many other areas of software, and not only software development, will recognize Umbraco and product not only by efforts but also by results, because that's all comes with the results.
I love using the back office with the keyboard now. I never used to be able to do it much, and in that office hours, Seb was talking about how he can do nearly everything now with the keyboard. And I've been creating loads of grid blocks lately, and just to be able to do it all with the keyboard has just been so good. It's just a lot faster.
Yeah, that's true. That's also what I found useful, and also the general styling guides. Something what as a non-designer, non creative person, I found it very useful to just reuse whatever was done already.
Yeah.
And if it's already accessible, already tested and also proved, why not to just reuse it? That's
exactly.
great to be able to do it. The other event that's I spotted when I collected the news was Perplex and Umbraco 9 Hackathon. Something what Jeffrey announced, probably it was for the whole day yesterday, where the whole Perplex team plus some other guests were hacking through the Umbraco 9, exchanging some knowledge about it and some other things. And I saw Corner also talking there about Blazor. It seems like a great event. Jeffrey, next time maybe live stream from the hackathon. It seems like a great event, and I hope we will all see, and I'm sure that we will see a lot of the outputs of this hacking down there. The Perplex team just made us used to new, crazy, just amazing things coming out of their work. So hope they enjoy.
Looks like they've got really great offices there as well, doesn't it? It's nice to see people still being in the offices and stuff. Even through the pandemic,
they have
it's
so
good to
big
see that
Christmas tree in the middle of office. I was amazed by the size of this Christmas tree here.
In the way of the screen.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, so I hope Jeffrey or anyone who attended the hackathon will watch it or rewatch it and tell us more about some great things they hacked. Maybe we can grab them to some upcoming episodes to discuss it. You, Paul, mentioned something new also, what is back, and this was the Candid Contributions podcast series 3. I haven't catch up yet. Did you listen to this episode already?
Yeah, I've listened to it. There was definitely an overuse of the word straddle, which made me laugh. But it was
generally the description says that it was a lot about Umbraco 9 and also .NET 6 releases, some real life conference attendance and so on. How do you summarize it from your perspective?
Yeah, it's just like a catch up really with what they've been doing in the meantime, and I think they're getting back onto a more regular release cadence. I think they've even got an episode in the can now.
Nice.
So it's just good to just hear Umbraco people talking about Umbraco and other things open source.
Yeah, as usual. We will also talk
Yeah.
about your podcast appearance this week, but
Oh,
in a little bit more
yeah.
time. Uh, Something what I found also this week, and I already mentioned it about performance. I don't know if you've seen, Paul, this kind of data studio from Google, focusing on some performance metrics and all the entrants from the HTTP archive. And I saw some CMS people, not from Umbraco community, exchanging some information about performance of their technologies. And
Oh, okay.
here we can see, we can select, of course, the data range, the client, is it a mobile or desktop, and technology used. And of course, Umbraco is one of the listed technologies here. So we can select Umbraco, we can compare it to WordPress, why not to, and see how Umbraco performed. And interesting enough is that Umbraco performed really, really well. So in terms of this metric, for example, in Core Web Vitals that are essential right now to Google indexing, performance, and so on, Umbraco is on top of the line all the time.
All right. That's good.
It's on mobile and it's same on desktop, and that's already what I discovered. But there is a lot of more of it. There is a lot of other metrics gathered, same as that. But we have a lot of origin scans, a lot of data that we can analyze, some medians and etc. And I didn't know that
Oh,
something like that exists. So
no. I
yeah,
think I knew Data Studio was there.
yeah,
Is this the one where you can like build custom reports and things like that?
yes,
But I didn't
that's the
know
one.
about this public data, and so that's I like that. And is this like a bit using that like where can I use can detect what has been used on the website?
Yeah, I was extremely curious how they are
Yeah,
detecting technology, and that might be something what we can ask the team behind it. But
yeah,
it seems like widely used by Drupal community members, for example, or WordPress people to compare it to other vitals. And of course, this is about the metrics that are more in theory more front end facing, but still
yeah,
there are some technologies that are powering it up behind the scenes, and it's good to see, for example, Umbraco on top when it comes to similar. Of course, front end is similar on all the implementations.
yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. I
I
really
think
love
the
it.
reason I think the reason why Umbraco might do well with that is because Umbraco doesn't really care about the front end, so you
Yeah,
can
that's,
do better things about on the front end without having a theme that's decided for you that you can't really control. You can actually control everything, can't you?
yeah,
So that's one of the
yeah,
selling
that's correct.
points.
And there is no overhead, right, delivered with Umbraco just because of Umbraco being used. So that might be the power of developers who just use Umbraco for their systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will share the link to this data studio. Let's drill into this data and find maybe some more interesting data for us to discuss with our teams and maybe some clients. Why not to? Yeah, I found it. I found it really really useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Something else, two call to actions from the community members. Mark Drake started a really interesting discussion about personalization in the back office and asked if anyone has some experience with it. And yeah, what might be the approaches to it. I saw he also tagged the marketing suite team. I haven't done any personalization on back office even so. I don't know what about you, Paul? Did you try anything like
No,
that?
no, I haven't yet. I've not even installed your marketing suite yet, so I need to install that. But no, this
Yeah,
looks interesting, but no, I've not got any experience with it yet.
yeah. It sounds like something for more bigger editorial teams maybe working on the same Umbraco instances. But
Mm,
also when I saw it in the comparison of block list items, for example, as we know, we can have a controllers that are responsible for processing them, so we can definitely personalize them even on
yeah,
the preview ends of that. So I would love to see an output of it. But people, if anyone here can help Mark and maybe share some ideas or dream about something how it can be done, please join the discussion and help. Maybe we can see something interesting born out of it, or maybe your marketing suite team will expand their offering and help personalize Umbraco back office as well. Who knows? Who
yeah.
knows? Second call to action was from Lee. Lee explored some of the ideas for content man notes label and editor
Mm,
and asked for some thoughts. And still, I don't have enough experience myself to share any ideas of it. I don't know, Paul, if you have seen this.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Especially.
So I've used the existing one, and I've
Mhm.
seen this as well. This definitely looks like a good improvement. I
Yeah.
think I got some feedback saying maybe just have the options above and then render the preview at the bottom. So rather than having to have it so long and rendering every preview out.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think that's a good idea. And you could render it with the icon as well next to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good improvement, and it's a good, and it looks a lot more like Mark Goodson's U editor notes. But
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
but I
But yeah,
think
if
that was also what Matt Brailsford did before as well, or something like that. So I think
yeah,
it's
that's
always we're
correct.
building on everyone's what's gone before us.
Yeah, all the software development it comes in cycles, right? So we if we can reuse whatever was done and
Yeah,
whatever was working well, why not to? That's also why everyone can shoot out ideas and maybe refer back to the past, because I sometimes forget about packages or things that we were using, in the days of V6 or V7, where there were a lot of packages already doing
mm,
things like that, but maybe now they can be bundled or all together. So yeah,
yeah,
if anyone has any other ideas, any other feedback, helpfully and reply to this thread with some ideas. And Paul, let's right now focus on some of your recent activities again. You've submitted a couple interesting feature requests to Umbraco. Let's start
yeah,
from here. This is the one that I heavily relate to, because as we've been discussing before going live, that I've made almost made a pull request to probably Umbraco V7 back in the days where the nested content and grid items were also having lack of names about the items to be added, and there was always something like add content
yeah.
label. And you also figured out and flagged this issue
Yeah,
and
so
suggested some potential.
yeah, so the main thing is, it's like I feel like the content, the document type that you use for the schema of this, if we were just able to give it a name for the
Mhm.
presentation side of it to the editors, then you can reuse that same document type and for different, for different cases. So like this is Spotlight. It's still a carousel, but to the user, it's a Spotlight item, and I want to say
Yeah,
add Spotlight, even though I want to reuse the carousel document type, if you see what I mean. And I
yeah,
feel like I shouldn't have to create another document type that inherits those same ones or uses compositions for the same, just because I want a different name. So if they were able to give us a property that we could override the name, maybe by default it uses the content type alias name, the content type name, and allow us to override it. It should be something that we could just put in there as an extra field. And then there was
mhm,
another one discussion that I started, and that one was about, because I'm creating all of these blocks at the moment. There's no
mhm.
way
Yeah,
to
that's a
actually
lot.
reuse a configuration of a block. You
Yeah.
and so we've got the ability to copy the content of a block, and I think that's brilliant. How you can just click on um, the copy icon when you're in the editing mode of content, and you can copy that onto another page even, or another row, or what have you, and reuse that. But so if they gave us the ability to copy that configuration and then go into another block list data type and paste that in, that would be good. And even better
Mhm,
would be to have like a central repository of block configurations that's already been defined. And then when you create your block list, you go, I want to use this type of block, I want to use that type of block. They're already got defined elsewhere. You did it once and then you can reuse them. And then I find out that hours before I even created this, it looks like I'm copying an idea, but I honestly didn't want to look like a mug and say that. So I definitely hadn't seen it. But Nathan Wolf has already created a package which I think does that. I'm a bit confused
mhm,
whether it's the content side of it or the configuration side of it. I've not looked at the code yet, but I have a feeling it's doing pretty much what I was asking for in idea 2 on this one. So hopefully, whether that gets released as a full package or whether it gets added to the core, either way, I don't mind, as long as we get to use the ability to do it.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. And I personally saw a lot of projects where we intercepted the way how the not maybe blocks but nested content items or grid editors previously were rendered like that, and we bundled them some copy ID, for example, shortcuts like that, or copy configuration or anything else. And it would be really useful, as you've said, to be able to do it. And again, copying, pasting, dragging, dropping, keyboard shortcuts, Control C, Control V. I found some really nice idea of it for in lead pages tool that I used. It has something called backpack, and you can copy the whole even lead page row, go to another lead page which is completely separate from the one that you are editing now, and paste it from there. So imagine something like that
We
done
can do that
in
though. We can do that now with the block list. It lets us, doesn't it? So
yeah,
that's
true.
really good that we can do that.
Yeah, so that's a great idea, and I think you've already gained a lot of interesting votes up and also comments back. So hopefully there will be some more actions around it, and definitely Umbraco HQ team and community is looking up to how general UX of blocks can be improved. So yeah, thanks for sharing your experiences,
Yeah.
uh, and hopefully it will help us all.
This is a
Also,
good
if
thing.
yeah,
Sorry, this is a good thing about it not just being Hacktoberfest, but when things bother you, even if you don't have the skills to do it yourself, even just raising it as a issue, just to get people talking, and then there's probably someone like Ken, is it Ken Jacobson, who'll just knock it up in half an hour or what have you. Like, there are people out there who read it, who do have the skills and know the ins and outs, and can make this idea a reality for you. If there's something bothering you, then just say, or even better, go on the Umbraco Thursdays, Umbraco Lab Thursdays, and get someone to help you implement it and create a PR.
Yeah, I think generally what I tried to do whenever I was leading any team, basically, it was about if you have a problem, just to make sure that it's shared somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? And it's if you stuck somewhere, it's not enough if you will just deal with it on your own. It's just about asking some questions or reporting it back, because I think 90. I don't want to guess numbers here. I'm not a fan of guessing here, but a lot of issues, maybe most of it is hidden because people are not raising them. They've experienced a bug or issue, or that something bothers them because they've spent 10 hours copying and pasting something, and when in the reality sometimes it's an easy implementation to make all of their lives easier. So yeah. Let's Chad just replied that he was doing his part on the core vitals for this report by the custom value converter for RT and many things like that. So that's great. That's great. I would love to learn more about this whole improvement on the level. But we know Chad how he approached the performance areas of the not only CMS but other ideas. So yeah, keep us posted, Chad, and we'll definitely highlight more. Still, with Callum, we have an idea, and hopefully it will materialize the next year. We'll do more longer episodes, not only focus on news, but more about topics, and performance is one of the top on our list that we want to explore more and more. So unofficially, I'm inviting all of you, Chad, you Paul, Matt, and hopefully Shannon as well, to discuss performance of Umbraco CMS in terms of .NET and all the other improvements in the future.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Unofficially, officially announced the idea. Cool. So that's I lost the screen somewhere. Where's my screen? Browser. Where is the browser? I lost you. I will find you. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's here. Cool. So yeah, there was this is this one. I wanted to also focus on the blog post that we've mentioned last week, but also it was related with the performance and your talk you've done on Umbraco together, because you've shared slides from it as well, right?
Yeah, so we put this post together, and this has just got some pictures and a bit of what we did at Mariama, and going to the Gold Partner Summit, and then going to Umbraco together, and then a picture of us giving a talk. But yeah, we do have a link there to the slides, and we were trying to embed the slides, but there was a problem with it being public or not through SharePoint. But yeah, when we can, we'll embed them. But otherwise, yeah, feel free to download them, look through the slides, and it's just interesting to see how well Linux keeps up with Windows. And although Windows does outperform Linux, but it's interesting to see that you can do it a lot cheaper on Linux as well.
Yeah.
So I think P1 V2 was probably the most interesting results and price comparison.
Yes, that was something.
Yeah. Next, one more slide. Yeah. So yeah, just to see that V9 Linux, £60 a month for that P1 V2 estimated, and if you look at that response time, it's like half of the V8 response time, and almost half of the V8 cost as well. V8 Windows cost.
That's true. And again, it's a lot of great metrics bundled within this talk, and I saw a lot of people already discussing and exploring on their own. Plus, there is a lot of other metrics that we can collect and hopefully measure as well. I'm curious if people are going to do it more and more, because that's where we can finally compete, not only in between of Umbraco implementations, but also infrastructure behind, because that might affect us as well.
Yeah, I think people could look into the querying of content and things like that in V9 compared to V8. We did a talk, Tim and I did, about the querying in V8. It'd be good to compare that in V9 now as well for performance.
That's true. Cool. So thanks for sharing this again. And if anyone is interested in these metrics and these findings, just go to the links down below the video and explore it. And Paul, one more activity you've shared this week was also about the podcast, and I found it interesting because it was about what you would be doing if you weren't developers, right? So what was your answer?
So first of all, my first answer was that I'd like to be a hospital porter, because I've always liked the idea of pushing people around. But no, I genuinely would have liked to do it. I just like walking around, meeting new people, taking them maybe for their X-ray or to their ward, from accident emergency. I would have loved to do that. But then I realised that I would just catch everyone's colds and viruses and whatever. This was years before COVID came out, so it probably wasn't a good idea. But yeah, no, I think have a listen. Find out.
Yeah, I will. I definitely it landed on my to listen this, because I often do this kind of exercise of what you would do if you would win 10 million pounds tomorrow, and you won't be in the need of doing any work next time. And then the question what you should answer yourself is, would you still do the same what you are doing, or we would be walking through the forest all days without shoes on your feet and just listening to the forest sounds or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think I would be one of my roles would be the professional YouTube watcher. I would be watching YouTube all the time, exploring dramas between YouTubers and influencers. That would be my hobby. But yeah, the other ones would be still probably software related, because I just love it. So yeah, that's a great jump off from the general developers discussions. And there were a couple other things that we've captured this week. One of them is Patrick's blog about creating Umbraco packages. It's a part 2 of the series, and again, a good exploration of the road to develop a package with some meta tags and some other converters, and really interesting topics when it comes to building a package. So it's not the end of the series yet, and definitely a good one to check if anyone plays and wants to build a package. This in these items, SEO related.
Yeah, people sharing how to do these sorts of things, because some people might have a good idea and it could be a package, but they just don't have the knowledge on how to package these things up and then what to do to create it. So yeah, it's nice that we're sharing that.
Yeah, that's a great stuff from Patrick. The next one was from John Jones, and yeah, again, a very detailed look on controllers in Umbraco V9.
Yeah.
From the did you read this one?
I've watched the video.
Oh,
He
you've
did a
watched the
video
video.
for
Yeah,
it as
that's
well.
true. It's up to preferences. Do you want to read or watch the video? That's true. He's really good in his activities. I definitely think we need to catch up with John.
He's got a funny style. It's definitely
Yeah.
funny the way he pronounces his words. I often think like if someone from maybe India or China or something was like, right, I'm going to learn about Umbraco, and then they hear the way he's like pronouncing these words just because it's his personality. What makes me laugh might confuse someone, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And it just reminded me the whole fun exercise we've done on Twitter many times. How you pronounce Umbraco?
Yeah, true.
Oh, I say it from Umbraco. What about you? But yeah, this is very good piece of content about from the basics of types of the controllers to more advanced concepts on how to use the authorized controllers, how to register them, how to do DIs, and various other things. Really great article with a lot of reactions already and a lot of comments from the community. I think really good content, and John definitely is worth observing not only on blog but also on his YouTube channel because he's showing a constant
He's
good
doing
stuff.
loads. He's really putting loads of effort in putting all this content out for us all to consume for free.
Yeah. And last but not least was one more thanks to Umbraco for the gifts sent to MVPs this time. Just reminded about the Christmas and some sweets. So yeah, probably more MVPs shared this information already. But it's good to again remind us all that the Christmas time is here and we're all counting down to that very much. And that's all from my list, at least. I hope we haven't missed anything.
Yeah, no, it's been loads in that one. A jam-packed show.
Yeah, as usual. And yeah, Chad. In the meantime, on the YouTube chat, described a lot of things done for improving the core web vitals. For example, for blocking non-critical scripts to unblocking non-critical scripts to do async calls, setting height and width or ratio for images. And just going through the critical images and converting them to base 64, for example. And I think what is interesting here is like opening Lighthouse not only for the front end production builds but also for the CMS itself is definitely going to help and highlight a lot of things that might got missed because again we use it we got used to how it works. We've observed an increase of speed in between of framework switches, but again there was a lot of things done in between that also improve that, such as, for example, this images conversions or general improvements of performance of scripts, etc. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, with us getting new audience for like .NET 5 users and developers, we might actually get different feedback from another set of users that when they come to use our back office, like, oh, I'm used to it being like this, or this feels slow here, or this should be quicker, done a different way. Aaron said he has a security post as well. Is that on Unpost or on Aaron Sadler?
Yeah, I'm just opening Aaron's Twitter profile now. I must have missed it, so that's interesting. Let me just open it. Yeah, and coming back to this performance talk, yeah, it's easy to see that something is slow or slower, but when it works good, it's not often a way of doing. Oh, maybe let's see what can be done better here. But again, even from your results, Paul, 400 milliseconds still sounds and looks like a big number of milliseconds for, let's say, backend performance. Because I don't know who told me, possibly Adrian from my team. He said that for some of microservices they've done in the past, there was a top number of milliseconds to perform the operation set to 45 or something like that. So if anything was performing longer than 45 milliseconds, it was treated as a potential bottleneck in the whole system communication. So
oh, really?
that's
I think
interesting.
you notice it if visually you notice it like less than 100 milliseconds. If the difference between like clicking on something and waiting, if it's less than 100, do you notice?
Have you seen? I've done a talk about it back in the days. It was living in lag. That was the video. The one of the Google teams probably released. They've made a Oculus
Oh
experiment
yeah.
where they've delayed the perception of what you see by 100 milliseconds and let
Oh
people
okay.
play ping pong or make screwed eggs or something like that, And they were it was impossible to do it, even by 100 milliseconds delay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it is a lot. It is a lot in the life. And yeah, Aaron, we found this blog, and if I'm correct, that was last week, and I don't know if we mentioned that, probably yes, but if not, yeah, 2nd December. And security headers. Yeah, I think that's a really nice topic to tackle. I don't know, Paul, what about you? But I've gone through a lot of security headers updates this year,
Yeah.
and some CSP policies, CSR policies,
Oh, it's a
etc.
nightmare. Isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's good to have this for .NET 5
yeah.
because I think I've got it covered on .NET Framework. But yeah, to have good examples here for what we can do to add all of these required headers for
Oh
.NET
yeah,
5 is good.
that's nice. Yeah, no more web config entrances about it. So
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, good shout out, Aaron, and thanks for sharing. Definitely something worth checking. And I didn't know this package and repo, so definitely to check out. I will list it on the episode's notes. Everyone can check it. And yeah, I hope that really the following weeks will be also packed with great Umbraco and also non-Umbraco updates. We will see each other next week for the special Christmas episode. And then we will have a break for a week, and then we'll see each other on the new year in the old new we perceptions and approaches to the upcoming 2022. So yeah, thanks Paul very much for
no
joining
problem.
me today. Thanks for all your great work done in the recent years, weeks, months, and
Yeah,
yeah,
cheers.
when you're finishing your 100 days of code.
Oh yeah, so I'm on
Right.
day 90 today. I think no hacks on day 100, and I'm on day 90. So yeah, 10 more days to go. I think it'll be the 20th. I'll be finished and finally free, and I'll probably I'll probably do a blog post summarising all of the things that I've done and learned, and whether I thought it was worthwhile or not.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and then maybe from the January we'll see either everyone in the Umbraco community starting 100 days of code, or no more 100 days of code.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, congrats to Lurka as well for almost completing it.
yeah.
And yeah, looking forward,
Today,
Paul, to competition of your challenge. And yeah, see you then next week or weeks, and we'll definitely highlight it whenever it will
yeah,
happen.
yeah. Cheers.
So
Thank you.
have a great day. Have a great
Yeah.
weekend, everyone. See you each other next week.